Hello and welcome to another Yakko's review. Today I'm reviewing bib shorts, specifically bib shorts for the larger gentleman, because we're out there and we need bib shorts. So I've talked to people who are large and cycle, and some of them don't wear padded shorts. Some of them wear padded shorts and don't wear bib shorts. Something you probably need to realise is that bib shorts make cycling more comfortable and a more pleasant thing to do. Because of all that weight, there's so much pressure going through the area that goes on the saddle. It's your perineum, it's your sit bones, but that amount of weight is just intense. So if you go on a long ride at that sort of weight, things start to hurt. But things hurt less if you've got a decent chamois in a pair of cycling shorts. And it's more comfortable if instead of having a waistband like you would have with cycling shorts, you have bib shorts, which don't have a waistband. And that whole area there is just more comfortable. It's also actually nice feeling that your tummy is slightly tucked in. Your belly, your gut, if we're being manly, your gut is kind of like held in by the slight sort of compression that you get with bib shorts. It's just a nicer thing. You also kind of know without any doubt that your arse crack isn't showing to the passing motorists, because shorts can go right down, but with straps and also there's usually a high back on bib shorts, you're not really showing that to anyone, which is a big bonus for them. The bib shorts I'm specifically reviewing are a company that have been supporting me for about 4 years, and I wear their bib shorts and their jerseys almost exclusively. I've gone through phases of wearing other people's stuff, but D2D have stuck with me and some of the other companies haven't. But because I wanted this to be a totally independent review, I bought these, and the reason why I bought them is because of all of the bib shorts I've worn from companies that have sent me things for free. These are the ones I like the best. So I could have approached Graham, who is hopefully watching, but I wanted to buy these myself, so I did. And the reason why I could buy these, though they are absolutely the top of the line D2D bib shorts, they're still £50. £50 is a lot of money. £50 isn't a lot of money when you consider it is the key area for a large man when it comes to comfort on the bike. The fit of the bike is so important. You might get sore shoulders, sore wrists, all sorts of sore areas. But almost guaranteed, if you're a heavy rider, you're going to get a sore ass. These bib shorts have been the most comfortable ones I've ever worn, and I've worn some good quality bib shorts. What I've never done is I've never had a true sort of high or higher end pair of bib shorts to compare them against, because D2D make the claim that they make top quality shorts at kind of the price that they're being made for. Whereas your Castellis and your Raffas, you're paying probably half of the price for the name. There must be more to it than that, but from what I've seen, I'm not sure that's the case. I've got a pair of bib shorts here, which I've just bought, and I've got exactly the same pair which D2D provided for me nearly 4 years ago. So we can compare the two. I've also got recently a pair of Canyon Core bib shorts, which are currently retailing for £105, and I've been wearing those as well. So we can talk about those and how they compare to the D2D. But this is specifically for the heavier rider. We can talk about D2D a little bit more, because I'm a big fan of them, because they also cater for tall men with an inseam of up to 39 inches or 99 centimetres, but their range goes down to small as well. Someone who's got a 26-inch waist, I think 28-inch waist. I can't even begin to imagine that. My thighs are bigger than that, and I've got two of those. So, mostly big men. So now we know who I'm talking to. You've probably done the same thing as me, and that is spend let's swear, bloody hours trying to find bib shorts to fit your girth. Because it seems rude, because things like 4XL have been misappropriated by cycling brands to mean someone who's got a chest of 34 inches or something daft like that. Now, I know a lot of cyclists are skinny, but increasingly, people who just want to go out for a ride, but want to be in the right kit to make that ride comfortable, want to buy bib shorts. They want to buy jerseys that fit. Now, up until now, there have been very, very few companies that actually can do that. So the reason why I needed to buy new bib shorts is slightly embarrassing. Now, it's quite well known that after a certain amount of time, Lycra can wear and go see-through. And what they say is it's one of those times when, if you're out in a group ride, you need to ride with really good friends, because only they can tell you that your bib shorts have gone see-through. Now, luckily, the pad does stop certain parts of your anatomy from being on full display, but unfortunately, the bit that does wear and does start showing is the crack of your arse, and so that does become completely visible. Now, I didn't know it happened to me until I was actually making one of my videos, and I now have a drone that follows me, and the drone showed the crack of my arse. And you can see it goes from the Lycra here is still opaque, or mostly opaque, and then the all-important arse crack area is completely see-through. So I find something that looked good, and it said it was in larger sizes, or it went up to 4XL, and you'd go onto the website and their 4XL maxes out at a 34 or a 36 inch waist. You know, to me that's laughable. What I found refreshing with D2D is that their sizes go beyond my size, but the range is huge, and that's what I liked about it. They're not exclusive, they're not excluding larger or taller riders. I don't know how old it's like at the shorter and lighter end, but in most cases they're catered for by other brands anyway. So we're now going to talk about the shorts themselves. So I've been wearing them on and off for 4 years. They're the most comfortable ones I've worn. They're the ones that I went back to after the others have worn out, and I've had quite a few Altura Pro Gel Plus bib shorts, which retail for around £80. They were good. I enjoyed wearing them, but they wore out quite quickly. And I was also in the mindset when they were sent to me that they were going to be better than the D2D ones, because the D2D ones were £50 and the Altura ones were £80. But when I started, so I went through 2 pairs of Alturas, and eventually the elastic would just come off because it was glued on for things like the straps and various other grippier bits. The grip around the leg was still okay, but the other bits, it just peeled off, which I didn't think was very good. It didn't look very nice either, because you'd have like stringy bits hanging around all over the place. So I went back to my older D2D shorts and wore them again, started wearing them again, and realised that they were more comfortable. And the range starts at, I think, $19.99 for bib shorts with D2D. I don't know whether they all have the same chamois, because that's where a lot of the comfort comes from. Sorry, I'm playing with them as we speak. Probably a bit weird me fondling the chamois part of a pair of bib shorts. Let's talk about it specifically. Now, what I found with the Altura bibs is that the foam of the chamois compressed, so it didn't have its full thickness, and therefore it lost some of the comfort that it could provide. These are the 4-year-old ones, and these are definitely softer than the new ones. The foam inside, after 4 years of, and I go out most days, by the way, so there's usually I just alternate one to the other and wash them every day. So you can see that my cycling, this sort of motion I'd imagine, has made all these holes much enlarged, but it hasn't had a particular effect on their comfort. They're still comfortable. The chamois is comfortable. I'm a very heavy rider. I've no idea whether it's because of the sections. You can see there's a thicker padding section. These are a very firm padding. This is obviously directly over your sit bones. So my sit bones are sit slightly to the outside of here, about there. But if you look at the old pads, There's no particular wear at those points. What I liked about the chamois, it doesn't move. Once you've got it into place, once you're wearing these, there's no movement of the pad whatsoever. They call it a 4D Pro Stretch Seamless Chamois. But 4D, I think actually the material is 4D, isn't it? So it's the Lycra. Because I can't see this stretching. And the fourth dimension generally is time. I've seen some cycling shorts that have 5D chamois. I don't know what the fifth dimension is. The stitching is what you'd expect. They call this flat lock stitching, and it's throughout. The seams, I've never had any problem with a seam leaving a mark on my body, even after a 6-7 hour ride. The gripper, it's the silicone grippers that you'd get on the more expensive ones. That's 7 centimeters, which is actually broader than most. The only logo you see is actually on the outside at the bottom of your leg, which is actually quite a cool emblem. It's not covered, not festooned with advertising, which I like. The back and straps are mesh. It's a fantastic mesh panel. And the back is the same. So I wear these when it's the hottest. That's matched with the jersey that I wear of theirs, which is also this same fabric on a panel at the small of your back. So it wicks it away perfectly. I need to mention, yes, it is winter. Yes, these are bib shorts, but they make bib tights. They make 3/4 length, like knickerbocker ones. It's the idea of how they're made, the materials they use, the quality of the chamois. That's what I'm trying to get across in this video. The long and the short, frankly, I mean, I could tell you all about the things. I mean, it's a 10 panel design. I noticed that the expensive ones have 10 panels. So let's bring in the Canyon bib shorts. The first thing I noticed is that the straps are elastic rather than mesh. Now, these are stretchy, and in 4 years they haven't lost their stretchiness. They're still good. With the Altura ones, they've stretched. The straps themselves are fairly well closed, so they're going to be hotter. The sizing isn't that great either. These are supposed to be my size, but they're a bit short, as in from the top of the shoulder to the crotch. They're a bit too short, so these are stretched quite a bit to get the sizing. And I'm not tall for my size. I'm short for my weight, if that makes sense. What I did notice about the chamois is that instead of the multi-panelled chamois, they've gone for a very deep perineal cutout there, like the saddles, which makes sense. But when it comes to the actual design, the number of panels, the flat lock stitching, bearing in mind these are twice the price, they're the same. The material, it's more of, this is the same Lycra mix that the D2D have. The back on these is also a mesh, but I did notice that the mesh is much denser, much more dense. So the D2D will be better on hot rides than these. The leg gripper, they're using the same silicone dots, but the gripper itself is narrower. But the long and the short is that when it comes to just a look and a feel of the two shorts, I'm not too sure which, if it was a blind test, which would be the quote quality shorts. So 105, 49.99. I think I'd rather have 2 pairs of these. I don't think about these when they're on. With the Canyon, which I've only worn on 2 rides, I'm actually very aware that they're on because they're very tight around the belly. The belly is quite low, and so my belly, and I think you'll know what I mean, larger riders, so you can see that between the front of the chamois and the bottom of and the top of the belly panel, that's very low. So if these ride a little low, my belly just pops out over the top of them, and it's not very comfy. So when I'm putting them on, I have to make sure that's pulled right up to keep my belly tucked in. Once it is up, and it stays up because the straps are possibly a bit too short for me, you just feel a bit confined. have I even mentioned that these are the D2D Peloton bib shorts? I hope so. These are the top ones. For the Peloton, the Podium, the Profit models, the sizing is for a small, for a 28-inch to 29-inch waist, all the way up to 2XL, which is a 39 to 41, a 3XL, which is a 41 to 43-inch waist, and the 4XL, which is 43 to 46-inch waist. They are available for women as well. I can't talk about the fit on those, unfortunately. But again, they go between size small and size 4XL. The waist size is from 25-26 for the small, all the way up to 44-inch, which is a size 22-24 on the 4XL. I was going to say I can't feel the difference between the D2D shorts and the Altura £80 shorts and the Canyon Core £105 shorts. Thing is, I can. And the D2D one is better. Now, they're not paying me. So if you're wondering if I've sold out to D2D to promote these bib shorts, no, I bought them. And these, the Canyon, these are the ones that I should be promoting. I like them. But of the two, I don't like them enough not to buy 2 pairs of these for the price of 1 pair of these. There's lots of nice things about D2D. I like the fact that they're a British brand. I like the fact that it was set up by 4 cyclists who just got cheesed off about the ridiculous price of cycling gear. I like the fact that they are completely transparent about how they go about things. I like the fact that they've got a 21-day, no questions asked return policy. If the size is wrong, they'll just take back the one that you've tried and replace it either with the right size or a next size up or down, or give you a full refund. No questions asked. That's quite rare. I like the fact that they're in the UK trying to beat far bigger brands with far bigger purchasing power than they are. And I think they do an amazing job. I just wish more of you would buy them. That's my recommendation for this week. Have a look at the D2D store. Any cycling clothes you could want, they sell. But I think it's the basics. I think a lot of cyclists like maybe to be a bit more individual with their jerseys in particular. These are down-to-earth, matter-of-fact designs. I like it. I don't know why any big man would try and look anywhere else for the basics. So they do a plus size range for really big men. They do this range for mostly big men. They do another range for tall men. That's not just tall, it's tall and big. Maybe normal sized people could be buying them because they're a British going concern. Cyclists like you and me, they're from the Peak District. I think they're based in Sheffield. Give them a go. Really, for these sort of prices, Christmas is coming. You could buy some bib tights for the winter, and if you get on with them, you can go on and buy the rest of your kit for the rest of the year as well. Like I say, they do rainproof jackets for a fraction of the price. I think you should really have a think and have a look at D2D and see if they can provide you with great value, great quality cycling kit. Simple as. I'll see you on the next one. There might be a break in my cycling adventures this week. If I can get out, I will. But I've spent a long time in the UK with my mum, who's just had a cataract done, and it went really well. Thank you for all the best wishes last time. But that's it, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.